got another Patreon request here from Bobby. On today's episode, movie breakdowns, we're going to review Cash from 2005, a movie by Michael Haneke. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Zakka. Before we get started, there's a movie moment review. Let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to it as best I can. Also, Patreon.com/Zakka, and for $2 a month, you get a cut in front of everybody. Get your review out. Wait for it on Facebook and YouTube. Get more content. Now, let's go and get to today's episode, 2005's Cash from Michael Haneke, also known as Hidden. This movie's in French. And yeah, if you're gonna watch this movie in America, you're gonna have subtitles. Just be cognizant of that. And what is this movie about? And this is gonna be a spoiler review, guys. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it and come back. But this movie is about a family that gets a set of surveillance tapes, and that's showing the family pretty much. The tapes are watching the family, and the father of the family got to figure out who is watching the family, and from there, these tapes kind of reveal more to the family than just what meets the eye. And that is pretty much the gist of Cash. And my first thoughts, I like the ideal of it. I like the premise of it. I like the thought of the surveillance tapes and the family trying to figure out who's watching them, and the father trying to figure it out, and then the wife and husband going at each other because they don't trust each other. Like, I like that whole concept. The father blaming his brother, who he felt like his long lost brother. You can say lost brother, not really lost brother. They just don't talk to each other anymore. So not really lost. They just fell out of connection, and he go back and find his brother, and he thinks his brother's doing it, and he blames his brother, and there's the tension between those two. But that as far as what I like, the concept and the tension bringing between people. But other than that, this movie to me was really like, it just didn't hold my attention. And it's not saying the movie was bad itself, it was just saying that, like, for me, like, there's certain scenes where, like, okay, the civilian tapes are being watched and trying to figure out who's watching them, but then it doesn't lead into, like, any really big drama. Like, to me, it didn't lead to, like, I felt the family was in danger because somebody's watching them. It was just like somebody just messing with them. And that's what it just felt like. Like, somebody was just messing with them, but it never did. Like, there's nothing showing, like, a threat at their door. There was no, like, I'm gonna kidnap your kids and wife unless you stop me and figure out how to play this game. Riddler from Joker. Like, there's nothing like that that was really, like, I feel like the family was truly in danger. And then the aspect of, the husband and wife going at each other, George and Annie. I believe that was his name. Let me double check that. Yeah, George and Annie, like, when they went after each other, like, there was nothing about them. Like, there's a scene where they're arguing with each other, and it's like, you don't trust me, George. Like, how I'm supposed to work with you? Like, we're probably a couple, we're a relationship, we're probably married, and you don't trust me. Like, what? Like, that tension there, I like that. And then you go off to another scene where Anne is confined to another guy, and the son sees this, and the son, like, is upset at the mom, but the mom's like, there's nothing between us, we're not doing anything. But, like, the scene looks like the dude's like, you're getting closer because she feels like she can confine to a dude who is open to listen to her and who give her emotional support versus her husband who's kind of like blocking her off from everything. And when the son kind of confronts his mom about her, mom confronts the son flips out like, no, this is what you've been doing. She's kind of just like, no, it's not. And then that kind of just ends. Like, it never get touched back on. You're never going to see any much more about those two. It just done. And I could have missed it because I was watching the subtitles. I could have missed it when they was in the room where George and Annie is in the room after George's brother kills himself, and George is like trying to figure out life, and he's in a dark room, and George could have talked about that, but most of the part of it was about what George has witnessed his brother killing himself in front of him. And it wasn't nothing about the extra guy or if she was maybe having an affair, nothing like that. It was just them talking in the room about what they're going to do and how to get through. And the scene was about 15 minutes of them just sitting in a dark room talking, which, once again, I like the cinematography of it. I like the ideal of it. It just didn't really hold my attention. And that's me. That's just me personally. It just did not hold my attention. And when you finally get to who actually been watching the family, it was like, okay, so it's a little brother, and it's his nephew. It's his little brother's son. But then they just talk it out. There's no fight. There's no aggressiveness. It's just like, stop watching me. Stop watching my family. Like, you're like, and the nephew's like, no, you did this to my father. You put my father in a situation and done this. And like, George's like, no, I didn't. Like, I'm sorry what happened to our father. Like, for me and your brother. But like, it's me and your dad was not like that. I didn't kill him. Like, it's legit. Like, and it's just like a jealous game. But nothing really came of the tapes. Like, to me, the tension for this movie, so a few things really just kind of deflated for me, and I can never really get truly invested. I never felt like the family themselves was truly in danger, and that's where I feel on this movie. A lot of good talking points. There is cinematography. This movie looks really, really good for 2005. Like, it looks solid. Like, some things I may be watching it in HD, but I watch it on YouTube like standard HD, but it looks clean, like super clean. Like, oh my gosh. But and then like the certain scenes, like for example when my dad, if I said his name right, when he kills himself and George had to watch it and it happened so quick and he's like in shock and he sits there and Michael Haneke makes us sit in the scene probably about, feels like 10 minutes, but probably about 5 minutes, where you just, at least a 2 minute of George just sitting there like not reacting. He just, like, my brother just killed himself. Okay. Like what I just did, that pause is exactly what the movie felt like. Like that pause was just like silence, and you're just sitting there like, huh, what's gonna happen next? He's gonna call the police? No, he doesn't. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts, my pros and cons of the movie Cash. This movie is an hour and 57 minutes long, so it didn't feel like it was a long movie. I just didn't really get in, like, just didn't grab me. It didn't really invest me. Like, I never felt like the tension in the family was high enough, the stakes was high enough where it was like, I feel like they're in danger. And it never felt like that. It just never felt like that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the directing cast. So, the director is Michael Haneke. The story is written by Michael Haneke. The box office here and budget, this movie had an estimate, and this is, I could be wrong, I'm sorry, is it pounds? I don't think it's pounds. Euros? I think it's euros. 8 million euros estimated, and it grossed worldwide $16 million. So it made its money. The top cast, you got Daniel Atelu, sorry if I mentioned your name of, or Atelu, who played Georges Laurent. Thought he did a good job. Like, the acting felt like it's solid in this movie. I didn't feel like anybody in this movie wasn't acting their butt off. I feel like everybody did a great job acting. Juliette Binoche, who plays Anne Laurent, thought she did a good job. And then Maurice Benicio, who played Majid. Great. I think the acting for every actor, actress in this movie was solid. Like, I was invested in what the actors and actresses was doing. It's just a story for them I feel like wasn't strong enough for me to be like super invested in when it was going to happen. I feel like the stakes wasn't high enough. Just like, okay, somebody's messing with the family, but that's about it. Any other thoughts? I like the color of the movie. I thought the movie was like lit perfectly right for the situation. I liked certain scenes like the dark room where it's in the dark room just sitting and talking. I thought it was an interesting concept. I like the main idea of the story, the cinematography of the movie I thought was good. Just the storyline itself just didn't engulf me enough where I felt like it was do or die for this family. Like, the stakes were super up there. It was just like somebody's messing with them. They're going about their day, trying to figure out who's doing it, but nothing was like, we're in trouble. That's how I felt. That is how I felt about this movie. Is this a Friday night movie? No, it's not a Friday night movie. You don't have to watch it on a Friday night in grade time. I'm gonna grade the movie Cash from 2005. I'm gonna give this movie a C minus. It gets 70% for me. Like I said, I like the acting. I like the main idea of the story. But for me personally, if like the movie's not a bad movie, it just didn't grab for me. And it's not a bad movie where it's like it's a D. Like, I feel like this movie, everything else in this movie was super solid. It just, the main storyline for me just didn't hold on to me like that. It didn't grab me enough where I felt like there was high stakes involved. I like the idea of the husband and wife fighting each other and she could possibly lead to an affair, or the brothers interacting with each other. I like this idea, the concept. I just never felt like the family was truly in danger. Be like, oh man, I'm super invested. It was just like, oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, I give this movie a 70%. It gets a C minus for me. IMDb gives this movie a 7.3 out of 10. That is a 70% as well. A C minus. Rotten Tomatoes give this movie by the critics give this movie a 89%. That's a B plus. And then the audience gives this movie a 78%, which is a C plus. So I feel like my 70%, my C minus is right there along with the audience and with IMDb. But Rotten Tomatoes truly love this movie. If you've seen the movie Cash from 2005, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below on that. See you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.